Hello, hello. It looks like we have some people on already. Hi, Antoniqua, and hi, Tatiana. And so I am going to start by introducing myself. I know I've been doing all these videos and I haven't given that grand uh, introduction to some of you who may be new to my channel or who may not be fully familiar with what it is that I do. My name is 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐲𝐻, and I've been helping twin flames on their journey for the past about 5 years to heal from the pain they experience in their journey, the pain and confusion, to prepare for their reunion, and also entering their reunion process and maintaining that long term. So that's been me, okay? And a lot of what I do is learn from my own experience. I've been fortunate that spirits have shown me so many things along the way, and I use what I have learned to assist others. And as long as it resonates and things like that, as long as it resonates for you, I understand not every message is meant for everybody. Okay. And so this topic today, I hold very dearly: the fear of feeling rejected by your twin flame. It is hot in here. If I have the AC on, you might not be able to hear me. And so I just got to bear here for a little bit. You're going to see all this sweat across my face and things like that. All right. So, fear of feeling rejected. As you know, if some of you have this fear of feeling rejected by your twin flame, you know that this fear wasn't always there, right? It wasn't always there because there was that bubble love phase, right? Where everything seemed to be going well, seemed to be working. If this was part of your journey, I understand it wasn't for everybody. Some people didn't really have a chance to meet their twin flame, or they've met their twin flame in a dream, or they crossed path and both people stared at each other like, what is this? And that was about as much of the interaction and things like that. So I understand different people are in different parts of the journey. But usually in the beginning, there isn't this fear. Everything seems to be going really good and just wonderful until something happens and then fear starts to come up, right? Either twin flame didn't return the text message, phone call, email, or something right away like they were doing before. Inconsistent communication, just anything like that that triggers something within you that was actually there prior to meeting your twin flame. It triggers, oh my goodness, what if this person is interested in someone else? What if they don't like me anymore? What if they're ghosting me? Any of that, right? What if they find someone else attractive? Maybe I'm not good enough for this connection. Here we go again. This usually happens in relationships. They start to, whatever story was happening, all right, you had a story going. Yes, you did. If you're not in reunion in this moment, there is a story, belief. I'm moving away from calling it a story. There's a belief going on inside of you that is showing up in your reality. Okay, this belief is showing up in your reality. We're going to uncover this. All right, so series of events happen, perhaps mm, it repeats again, and you're like, oh my goodness, like this person just doesn't really want me, or something like that. Or maybe this was you, and I applaud you for this, okay? Because I'm the kind of person, or I was the kind of person who was like, mm-mm, they're not showing interest. Like, I'm good. Let me go somewhere else. And that kind of stuff. I've seen some folks, maybe this is you, maybe not, who just know, who just really know deep down within, yes, this is the connection. And so when anything, whatever is happening in the physical, there's a part of you that is like, but I know, I know, I do know, and I'm not going to go anywhere. Okay. I applaud you for this because it certainly was not me. Does this mean that there isn't a fear of rejection that's going on? There is. All right. So, hi, Beyond the Surface and Awakening Games. Thanks for hopping on. When we look at the twin flame, no matter how the fear is showing up, we did a post recently about different type of avoided attachment styles, which is a fear, as you know, a fear of being attached, of being in connection, of being rejected, of fear of being abandoned, right? So it's a different way the fear of being abandoned is showing up, because rather than getting abandoned, they're just not going to step in there. They're just not going to dip their toe in there, because nobody's going to abandon if you're not in there whatsoever, which is different from where you might have been on. I'm afraid they're going to leave me. Maybe I should do something to make sure that they stay, something like that. Both a fear of being abandoned showing up differently. So those two fears, abandoned and rejected, pretty much to me, they seem very similar. So we tend to look at the other person and we're like, why are they running? Why don't they come to me? Like, I'm harmless. I'm not going to do anything to them. Like, I don't get it. I used to look at my running twin, right? Not realizing how I was running, because there's a part of you that's running. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Okay. Not realizing that I was running. So I was looking at my running twin and saying, this isn't my fault. Like, why are you running? The universe comes for me too. Like, we're in it together. I didn't choose this, just looking at the situation and saying these in my mind, like, I don't get it. But you know what? It's all you. It's all you. And, I'm hoping by the time this live ends, you're able to see it in some kind of way. If not, ask your questions, because I want to help you, I should say, to be able to see where in you this is showing up, because that's what your twin flame is showing you when they're running. All right. Hi, Wall. Thanks for hopping on. Okay, so I'm going to answer a question real quick. I have fearful avoidant and decide that I will reach out to my twin flame no matter what. For so many years, I have been expecting everything of him, and now we are communicating more than ever. There you go. You decided you're going to reach out no matter what. I usually say go with your intuition, but I like to hear more about this, all right? Because reaching out while being afraid and having stories run, or beliefs run in your mind, usually causes the twin flame to reflect that. Okay. And, I want to say more on that, but I love to hear, yes, you do follow your intuition. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is really great. We'll go into that. And so, more authentically and more deeply than ever. Amazing. This is really wonderful. Okay. And so we look at the other person and oh, sorry. I see Walt's. Go right ahead, share. I'll come back to the comments, Walt. We look at the other person and we're like, why are they acting that way? Why are they being that way? Like, I don't understand it. But here's what happens. And this is how I got shown this. Because keep in mind, I had to hire someone for myself. Because I was like, I want to see what I can't see. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made, because it changed my life, changed my client's life, and so forth. Okay. So here's what happens. While you were younger and you were growing up, I'm going to list different scenarios and you let me know which applies to you, if it applies. While you were younger, you were taught or shown something about love that wasn't actually love, but made you terrified of it. Something, okay? Whether it is a culture that you are a part of that believes, no one's good out there, there's no good men, choose one, who cares? That's my story, right? There's no good ones out there, who cares? Or you observe your parents arguing all the time, or your parents were abusive in some kind of way and they said to you, I love you. And so now love became associated with abuse. Okay. And so, with any of these situations or generational beliefs passed down, where I come from, everybody was saying the same thing. It didn't matter. The strangers I meet on the street, same thing. All men are no good. Who cares? Just choose one. Okay. So, what this does to you on a subconscious level is become afraid of love. You develop some sort of fear of love. And because early on, God bless their hearts, they were doing the best they can. Your parents, your caretakers, the people around you, church, religion, whatever the case is. Because of this teaching, they're all no good. A part of you is like, well, why would I want to experience that if I'm going to get hurt? So I'm going to protect myself in different ways so I don't feel hurt. But yet I want someone to connect with me. I want to be able to experience connection. And how do you protect yourself? You do this by, hold on, by finding something in them that's wrong, some sort of fault. Oh, they are this, they are that, they are this, and that, and things like that. The ego will produce these situations that may not be true. Lots of times, I always say, when you assume something, you're like, Asheen, but I'm not assuming. Most of the time on this journey, there are lots of assumptions made. Okay. This person doesn't return my call, therefore, they don't care about me. The mind looks for things to validate that love hurts. It keeps doing that, even though you're like, I want to experience love and I'm doing everything I can to experience love. There is a part of you that didn't fully trust that love can show up for you. Okay. And so when love tries to enter your life with this connection, something didn't go well. They didn't answer their phone, they didn't reply the text message right away. And there's a part of you within you that says, there we go. I just knew it. That's happening again. You know, it just keeps looking for it. Even though they might be tired, they're sleeping, they're hanging out with their friends, they're a little afraid of this connection and the energy feels like too much. So they're just gonna like back away. But at that time, you didn't know it had to do about energy. You didn't know. And perhaps you were used to these beliefs running through your mind. Oh my goodness, they're gonna leave me. What if they don't come forward? What if all of this stuff? You know, a lot of times we truly, and please let me know if I'm wrong on any of this, we want love. Both people want love, but there's a fear around it. And even though you don't express the fear, you're like, I'm containing this within, your twin flame mirrors it anyways. The people from your past had mirrored it anyways. When there is the fear of opening up, fear of expressing your, what you would call boundaries, I call feelings, guess who enters your life? Who had entered your life in the past when you had a fear of, oh, excuse me, expressing your boundaries? Somebody who, if you want to call narcissistic, lots of us on this journey had experience with actual narcissistic folks. I know we like to use the word and throw it around and all this kind of stuff, but what I find is a twin flame journey is so similar in so many ways. And there was someone who did not care about your feelings whatsoever. They didn't care. Okay. Because they will show you that the fear of connecting, fear of opening up, fear, these type of fears attract either someone who's not going to care, or it keeps your twin flame away. All right. And I know that second part, you're like, ah, Perhaps you're like, ouch, Sheen. Because what happens is that when we carry fear within ourselves, the fear of being rejected, number one, your twin mirrors it because they are you. So it's going to look like they're afraid to be around you, to be with you. And so it's going to look that way because it's a mirror. We give off an energy that is confusing. Okay. It's not crystal clear on what it is we want to experience in that connection. There's something that you don't realize. You won't realize this. A lot of this is subconscious and it's energy. And so you don't realize this, but your twin picks up on it and they're like, I don't know if this person really likes me. And someone had asked, well, why does the twin flame like hide in social media? Like with a different profile picture or page or whatever, create a fake one and just like looking. This isn't the answer for all, but I'll provide one reason is because they're afraid of feeling rejected by you. And this connection pulls them through. Now you might be like, did I give that? Honestly, Asheen, I don't feel like I gave that impression. This is subconscious and energy. Okay, that you may not realize is going on because somebody, when you were younger, told you love hurts, love is painful, or you observed it. And the perception of love becomes twisted in some kind of way. And it did, to the point where you're not sure if it's safe. But you know what? The actual love, real love, especially with someone who's intended to be with you, is safe. Okay. This is one of the things that even I had to heal within myself is feeling safe to be in this connection. I had a major fear of rejection. It's like the ego says, there it goes. He's rejecting you again. If this happened to you, oh my goodness, I got rejected again. Even though, like I said, he's afraid, his life isn't put together, and this can go with she too. Either way on this journey, her life isn't put together. She's overcoming karmic situations, anything like that. But a part of you says they're rejecting me. Your twin flame is not rejecting you. Okay, they are mirroring the rejection you have, the fear of rejection you have inside of yourself. This is something that I truly recommend taking care of within yourself, even if you feel like you don't have it. Okay, because if your twin has difficulty coming towards you, there is something within you that's showing this, that's giving this energy, and they're like, I don't know if I can go near that. Or I feel like there's a Sorry about that. There was a call coming in. I told her, don't call me. All right. And I know, I see that question, Coco. I was watching a video about why twin flames can't have children. I'm curious about your thoughts on the subject. I saw the same video come up too, and I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. Not sure why that question is there. If there is anyone here who does have kids, like my twin and I, we have kids by another person, by other people. If there is someone who have kids with their twin flame, please share your experience here and so on. Okay. Let me think if I know anyone personally. This is new theory to me. All right. I've never heard of this before, so I don't have the answer for that. Um, I know lots of twins, but oh, okay, yes, actually I do know. Um, yeah, no, actually I do know. I know some twins with kids, so not true. I know some twins who do have kids. One thing I know. I don't even want to manifest it because I know. All right. All right. I'm going to put you guys on mute for one moment. Okay. One moment. All right. I unmuted myself. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you're able to hear me, and so on. I had to deliver the message. This person has to stop calling me. All right. And so we were on fear of rejection. It goes so small, guys. It is so small that you may not even know that you're experiencing it. All right. Thank you, Coco. I'll give you an example, what I went through, right? So the universe was like, text your twin. This was back in the day, before I knew this was happening, right? I would get the messages, and at that time, it felt like I was going up against a mountain just to hit the send message. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Like, oh my God, what if I'm making this stuff up? What if I get rejected again? What if, like, all these what ifs playing, right? I love how the universe works. Makes me upset sometimes. Gotta love it. You go through several experiences before the knowledge is dropped. So after a while of going through this, wondering why my twin was running, then I heard, as I'm hitting send and these fears are coming up, is Sheen, stop that. I was like, wait a second, what? That's what I heard. You need to stop that. Even that small, like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can really call this person, like, so tiny. Just a little thought that I didn't even know was there. Okay. And the universe was like, you need to stop doing that. So when you reach out, when you're guided to reach out, you can't have that. Okay. Any amount of fear you have within you in this connection gets mirrored back to you. It just does. It's, I mentioned the narcissistic people. The narcissistic folks love it. That's a playground for them. I'm not saying that's your twin. That's a playground. Oh, you afraid. I'm gonna work on your fear. Okay. Fears get noticed. I really want to take so much of this twin flame idea out of it. It's not twin flame related. When you have a fear of a particular thing, it gives off an energy to that thing, and it can't come to you because the energy of fear is very dense. Okay. It is opposite of love, opposite of positive. We're talking about two different things here. And then the universe honors your fears. Your dominant energy, the universe, is not sleeping ever, like ever. And then, another wonderful thing about the universe is when I tell the universe, I'm like, please, I'm doing my best. When I used to, I'm doing my best. Like, can't I see something here? I may not be fully there, but can't I see something there? And then usually if they were laughing, that's what they were doing. And they're like, he's you. Sorry. And then I was like, oh, okay. Never mind. There's really no way around it. This person is you. Let's take twin flames out of it. The people that come into your life were a reflection of you in that particular time of your life. It's all you, you know? All right. So let's take a look at this. I remember when my twin flame was confused about why I wouldn't talk to her. And now I'm at the point where she won't talk to me. I know we're growing, so it's all good. Just enjoy the moment. I'm curious to know why too. why weren't you talking to her? Just curious with that. And if there was any fear around that. And I have another question next time you broadcast. All right, excellent. Last night on the phone with my twin, an image of him and his ex fiance with more children appeared in my mind, and I just felt like running again. Sometimes I feel like taking a break from him. All right, all right. You know, you say feel. I feel like I don't go against feelings. Okay. I do not, the moment someone says, I feel, I do not say anything against it. This is likely to be coming from your soul. When you have a feeling about something, is coming from your soul. And your soul is guiding you and leading you. So a feeling comes up and you're like, I feel, but you don't want to listen to it. But then your soul is guiding you. So I'm not saying to take a break from him. What I'm saying is, you mentioned I feel. That's from the soul. Okay. And what the reason is, I'll say sit with yourself and connect with your inner part and receive some guidance around that. That is my suggestion right there. And why? Why is a break necessary? Could it be like there's so many things in there that we really couldn't cover here in this live, but that's the key word right there. I feel. I wouldn't talk to her because of all that crazy energy I felt. It was so odd. It was like a big fan blowing in your face. It's hard to explain, I guess. I am so glad you mentioned this. Okay, I'm going to drink some water. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Vibe Freak. I still don't know how to really say it. You had a lot of fear in the beginning. I'm so glad you brought this up. So glad you brought this up. All right. Because the intensity of this connection, the energy in this connection is a lot. Is a lot. All right. And with the, this was my understanding. This was how it was explained to me. Um Back in the day. The divine masculine in the connection doesn't know what to do with that. It's like, oh my goodness, what is that? And would rather crawl into the man cave. That's how it was explained, rather than looking into it. Whereas many of us, and then you might be like, well, I'm over here watching videos, so am I the divine masculine and stuff? I feel like it's all one, really. We interchange in this connection because it really is just one. And so, where a lot of divine feminines will research and look things up and all this kind of stuff, the divine masculine is more like, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I can't seem to figure that out. Like, it's a lot. When it is likely, and you can let me know, in the beginning, your twin's energy was a lot on you. And so that combined with the energy of in the connection felt like a blowhorn that's going in your ear or on your body or something like that. And perhaps you're like, make it go away. Like, what is that? Okay. And I don't know if you said anything to her. Don't know if it would have made a difference if you said anything in the beginning, because usually when twins come together in the beginning, there is this I need to have this connection that makes it real hard to hear anything else. So that happens. And then we go into a fight or flight. Either we're fighting for it or we're going to run from it. And all that still creates this fear energy. Okay. And so it's likely that had happened. But because you had not spoken to her, you didn't talk to her, in the early days, this is what I sense, but you can let me know. She felt rejected and now she didn't want to talk. Okay. You can change this. You can change this. It takes one person because it's shared soul, one person to work on the fears inside of you. If there are some fears there, like, all right, she's not talking to me, so I'm afraid of, you fill in the blank, that has to be taken care of. Because anytime there is fear in this connection, I'm letting you guys know, it creates an energy of go away. You clear that fear, you clear any energy going outside of you that's creating that reality, your twin comes back. Okay? Because there isn't this, it's like you said, a fan blowing in your face saying to stay away. Because that's what it feels like. All right? And it's hard to push up against the fear energy. Being on the other end is very, very hard to push against that fear energy. And unfortunately, it's going to look like your twin is still running away. You can do something about this, guys. You really can. I had a lot of fear in the beginning. Yeah. It's 5 a.m. Well, good morning to you, Ashwini. And I'm glad you joined. I'm not able to sleep. Well, glad to have you here. I told her about the weird energy stuff. I also told her I thought we were twin flames, and she received it very well. All right. Well, there you go. And I'm glad you mentioned that one too. Many times we're like, I can't talk about this twin flame stuff. They're going to run. Well, if you judge that your twin is going to run, your twin is going to run. You're just simply explaining what you're feeling in the connection because these feelings are real. What you're experiencing is real, and it's likely your twin is experiencing it too. How do you heal with feeling of being unlovable? This is subconscious and it was there before. It's not your twin who created it. If you feel like you're unlovable by them, it was there before. It requires going into that feeling and healing it from the root. Okay. This is not something I can explain in the live. It's something that you actually have to go through. You have to experience to overcome it. Okay. And perhaps more than once to really heal yourself from that. And high vibes, are you a man? All right. One thing which was a major challenge for us in the on off stage was lack of communication, emotional unavailability, secrecy, and no efforts by him. Whoo. All right. Lack of communication. That's a whole nother video in itself, but emotional unavailability. Get ready for this. There is somewhere in you, and you can always tell me if I'm wrong. You can always tell me if I'm wrong. That is emotionally unavailable that you may not realize. Okay. So a lot of times, what I, this is just my observation, what I've seen on this journey are folks who hang out with people, but there's a part inside of themselves that's like, I don't really want to be as available and things like that. And so your twin flame mirrors that in return. Or if you're someone who works hard, you work a lot and you're not really connecting with the people around you, your twin flame mirrors that. There is a mirroring that's going on there. And I actually learned this one because the universe told me you've got to make yourself available to people. I'm like, okay, all right, universe, I will do that. Took some time though, but yes. Secrecy. Who was secret? Who held secrets when you were younger? Okay. Someone was being secretive somewhere there, and your subconscious mind picked that up and it relives it in your twin flame. That's really what happens. A lot of what you see that's going on, this is why I say take the twin flame out of it. The beliefs that you're having, take your twin flame away from that belief and begin to really look for it inside of you because they're showing you that. And after 4 years of painful on off, he went ahead to marry arranged marriage. I was thinking that earlier. Third party situations just it sucks. I went through it myself in different ways, my twin as well, that it just sucks. They are manifested, okay? And I don't say it to for you to feel bad. Don't feel guilty. It's just a sign of healing. All right, because the third party gets manifested from a lack of self confidence in connection, any feelings of what if they choose someone else? Are they going to be with someone else? And then boom, person pops up, manifestation. Your thoughts play a major role. And everything is like puzzle pieces. So the third party comes in because they are part of the contract. It all like fits in. They're part of the contract to teach some sort of lesson. So perhaps the thoughts that you were having was all meant to be because this person comes in and teaches a lesson that you can't teach. But now it's important to really take a look at your thoughts and your fears over the situation. Because if you give it energy, your energy feeds that connection. I share with you because I really want success for all of you. When your energy goes into that third party, they're with them, they chose them, why are they with them, and all this kind of stuff. It creates this energy that actually moves your twin in that direction. And then the beliefs, all that becomes manifested. Once you clear that, there's nothing in the way. There's nothing that's going to keep your twin flame towards that direction. There's no energy saying, there's no manifesting of anything. And your twin will be able to hear and follow his inner guidance, because you're not the only one being guided on this journey. Okay, you're not. The signs, synchronicities, messages, dreams, all of this kind of stuff is happening with both of you. And without that energy going out towards that situation, your twin can find their way home. Okay. And all right, thank you. I'm so glad you were able to catch it too. Comparison, jealousy, envy, you got it. These I've struggled with. Absolutely. That you can heal yourself from these. It's very, very important. This is what the connection is teaching you. This connection takes us to great extent for healing those things or clearing our thoughts or however it is, but it takes us to a great extent to become a higher version of ourselves and more aligned with our inner truth, what we feel inside we're meant to experience. It really does. Okay. And I wonder why they are able to be lovable to all but me. Are they? Are they? Hold on. All right. When we look at a twin flame who appears to love someone else, we're like, oh, okay, they love them. They love them. They don't love me. Right? Looks are deceiving. Okay. Looks are deceiving. I say this because your connection with your twin cannot cannot be experienced with anyone else. And some of you might be like, oh, well, I don't know about that. Well, I'm going to say that. Yes, can't be experienced by someone else. Think of that bubble love stage where it felt like you found someone who gets you. You connected in a deeper way, almost felt like a soul level type of way. Like you had that soul recognition. When you're communicating with them, it's like the world just kind of disappears, right? And truths just come out. Okay. Oh my goodness, the kids. All right, hold on one moment. All right, sorry about this, guys. The kids are getting rowdy. Okay, actually no, let me take that one off. Okay. Where did I leave off? I did say that that is, I know I was talking about the third person. I'm going to move on to questions here. And, oh, lovable to everyone. Okay, okay. I love this one. Love this one. All right. So, with everyone else, there isn't that soul level connection. Okay. It's more like a surface level connection. There isn't that going deep, and it it's more, I heard chakra. They're more connected with each other through the sacral chakra rather than the heart chakra. Something about it feels safe, even though they don't totally like it. Maybe this was you too. You felt connected with someone, but it was just not deep enough. It wasn't soul level enough. But that connection didn't trigger as much, isn't waking them up as much. Perhaps it's showing lessons, but not to the extent of a twin flame. Keep in mind, twin flame connections are strong, and they reveal parts, like you become triggered, you see yourself. Your twin flame shows you, I mean, they show too, but your twin flame shows you times three, magnified. You're magnified. Okay, so that other connection feels safe in a way, but is it love? If a connection doesn't awaken you, is not from a soul level, doesn't go this deep, is that true connection? All right, just something to think about. I try to word it this way, thinking of my own experience, because when you go into a twin flame connection, especially someone who seems to be running from it, you're going all in. You're removing you, like you're removing that fakeness, that um security blanket that you've been under, and all of yourself is being shown. Is this person can see you, can see all of you. Is that something they're prepared to go into? Is that something you're prepared to go into, to be totally vulnerable and exposed in a partner? That's what this connection does. There is no hiding from yourself. And so if a person is used to hiding from themselves, this was something I had to heal from. Hiding from myself. There's ways you hide from yourself you don't even know you're hiding from yourself. If you're used to doing that and you come into this connection and you're totally exposed, it can feel scary. Okay. When I discovered just how much hiding yourself, like you're not honest about your feelings, you hide your emotions, you're a people pleaser. I don't like that word either, but I threw it out there because I don't know, I guess maybe I'll move away from that. Let me be nice, a little nicer. But honestly, no. You're pleasing people. Your focus is to please people and create happiness while not looking at yours. You're not sure what your feelings are anymore because you're very much out of touch with them. Maybe you have a messy home and you're like, I can't let nobody in my home. I had to stop doing that. When I discovered this whole hiding myself thing was showing up in my connection, I had to stop doing all of that. And you get to know you, bring yourself out. When you can do this, you're prepared. Okay? This is what I do. I help you to prepare for that, for your connection, your twin flame connection. It's they call it emotional, I want to say nakedness. Emotional, like just seeing, being seen, allowing someone to fully see you and stuff like that is a big part of this connection. Okay. And I have strong abandonment issues. This is going to bring this up when he comes in and out of my life. Yes. It's, I'm gonna, my next video will be about when reunion, possibly one of these videos, reunion is coming, and the fears within you just intensifies. It's because it's trying to come out. All right. So the fear of being abandoned is truly something to work on and to heal and so on. And you did, you made it, Miss Amway. I have to catch up with you at the text chat. Great job, Machine. Have a good night. Same to you, Walt. And he called today, said wanting to talk, but I don't know to talk what. The last time he started texting other girls, I'm done. He's mirroring some sort of belief somewhere. Okay. I just had to point that out. He's mirroring some sort of belief somewhere, um, that's in your subconscious mind. But I received nothing from them. Okay. On the very first time we met, he asked me if I really think he loved me. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. Not a laughing matter. I'm sure that triggered you and felt hurtful in some kind of way. I don't know what this means. I want this going to other girls to end. I'm just done. How can I trust them? Every word just seems like a lie now. Someone lied to you or wasn't fully honest or um didn't show up for you the way you would have wanted to when you were younger. It's not a blame thing, it's subconscious. Okay. And if there is that belief, he's going to be with someone else, there's going to be other girls, that gets mirrored too. So, a lot of inner work around this particular area is necessary. And I know it's going to trigger some people, like they're responsible for their action. They sure are. But one thing that happens, if there's the fear that's still there, if there's a belief from early on, some sort of belief from society, from whatever the case, it creates this energy and manifestation, they're both at play, that pushes your twin in that direction. So he might be like, listen, I really don't want this behavior. I don't want to do this. I don't know why I do this. He probably wouldn't be able to explain it to you, but it's like something just keeps directing him to there. So once you eliminate that, it goes away. Okay. Plus, no action. Mine said he loved me, then changed his mind, loved me again, changed mine again, and the cycle continues. I could go on about the mirror. I really can. I'm open to hearing the full story and not just saying it's only the mirror, but a majority of it is the mirror. One thing I have observed is if your feelings interchange, he shows that. Okay. He really shows a lot of what's going on inside of you. And what I'm hearing is when you get real stable within, and this means moving yourself away from the 3D of him. 3D is going to make you go nuts. If you look at the physical, you're going to be asking, like, why is he doing that? It's going to make you go crazy. Okay. Don't look at the 3D. Connect with the higher self for a higher reason, for something greater than you in this connection. I like to use money as an example. I'm not saying your twin flame is money. If you know who you are, if your bank account says we're not going to make it to the end of this week and you stay looking at it, you're going to believe there's no money, and money is everywhere. It's abundant. Okay? So you don't look at the 3D, and you move into abundance and you stay there. And it helps a lot with what's happening in the 3D so that your inner knowing comes out instead. All right. His attitude is also sure, whatever. If you believe that, well, yeah. Sounds like he hasn't fully learned to express himself yet. This sounds like a mother wound. Um, I won't go into details about that because I don't know him like that, but this sounds like a mother wound. Okay. He never showed me love the more desperately I needed it. He never showed it to me, and he wouldn't be able to. Okay. And I say these with love. And I'm okay with people saying, I'm not going to listen to a Sheen anymore. I say it with love. When we desperately need to have something, it means we don't have it. And the person mirrors, I can't show it to you because there's this energy that says, or manifestation that says you don't have it. We've been sick here. Again, not twin flame related. This is something that happened before. When you need something, it means subconsciously you feel like you don't have it and it won't show up. Oh boy. Hopefully that won't continue, but I'll be ending soon. Just getting through your questions. Just a son done wanting the relationship, but too afraid to believe him. I get the fear. I understand. Why was it? Was he unaware and simply didn't love me? He was secretive, but why he chose someone else to marry? All of this needs to go. All of that needs to go with healing. I feel like I hate him and I hate myself. Oh my goodness. You know, you mentioned this, and I'm glad. Not that I'm glad you do. I'm not glad you do. I'm glad you brought it up because this is one part of this video that I was going to go into that I almost forgot about. Okay. Simply because of the love I feel for you and for all of you. I got to address this. And I'm not sure, there's a lot of comments. So give me a moment. Let me look through. Uh, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about the types of communication I'm supposed to have if there is a third party. Do I ignore it? Ignore it. No, it's energy. Like don't feed that third party. Okay? Don't feed it. Focus on yourself, your healing, being within you, your soul's purpose path, all of this kind of stuff. Let go of the stories around third party. My spirit guides me walk through so much emotional trauma I didn't even though I had, I'd be so lost without my spirit guides. At this point, I'm in a third party situation working on that now. Okay. I feel like I was begging Jim, chasing him for love that time. I felt as if the unawakened him just enjoyed me begging, I think. That shame of chasing him. Possibly. This is a wound. Maybe he never thought me equally powerful. A mirror. All right, mama. But you know, like how us feminine make people safe, that okay, you can be safe. I did this, and even he himself acknowledged, but I felt like when I was vulnerable with him, he never reciprocated. There were times you were vulnerable, but others didn't reciprocate. Your subconscious mind remembers it's not being reciprocated. And that's showing up through him. And me being like wounded cat, I was angry and loud on him. Yeah, lots of healing there. When you are in 3D union, is the acceleration ongoing, including triggers, or does this stop or slow down? It slows down a lot. You know, triggers happen, but with healing, you're not reactive to it. And yeah, you're not reactive, or because anything that comes from being triggered, if it's um the negative thinking, I should say negative thinking comes up, is worth exploring. And you explore that and hash that thing because it's just telling lies. All right, then let me see. And I'm that naked emotions with my people, but he's like stone face. All right. Lots of this. Yes, 3D makes me wild. It's crazy. Oh my goodness, the throat coughing. I know. Yes, even being away from him, he makes me feel safe because he has a blocked throat chakra. All right, so I read through the comments, and I'm actually not going to read more, but you're welcome to post comments. I want to get back to this comment here. I feel like I hate him and I hate myself. Okay. You know, when two people come into this connection, usually you're not aware that it's a twin flame connection, that you found the one, that something's going to happen, your life is going to change in lots of different ways. You don't know that. but you both come in with wounded versions of yourself, both of you. Okay, the journey begins. It opens up to where you begin to look at parts of yourself that you didn't know that you had to look at. Even me, after I divorced my ex, I was like, I'm going to work on being a better partner. So I'm thinking maybe keeping clean house, maybe let me just work on those things. No, it's not that. It's more like working on your fears, working on the way you allow someone to feel connected with you, the way you open up to connection, being vulnerable. All of this is what matters, right? But you didn't know that. When you and your person first got together, you did not know that. And you went into this connection with old versions of yourself, with fears and wounds that worked. It seemed like it worked with the karmic soulmates, but that's because they're not your mirror. So in a soulmate connection, when you're with these wounds, you can actually be around each other even though you can't stand each other. Like you're just like, I can't stand this person. And a twin flame connection doesn't work like that. So you were the wounded version of yourself. The things that happened around that time were the wounded version of yourselves, both of you. If you had known that you could do something different during that time, you would have chosen to do something different. Okay? You would have known to do he would have known to do something different. You didn't know. You knew how you typically are in connection, and that was showing up in the connection. You didn't know there was anything out, any other way, some sort of healing, having patience, all of this kind of stuff, not needing to have him and being fully available and present and be within you. All of this kind of stuff are things that you will come to know. So when the two of you triggered each other and you hurt one another, it is likely that it wasn't intentional. Now, you might be like, well, talking to another person, if they were if he was interacting with other girls and that kind of stuff, that's intentional. That's actually a wound. And, you know, if you choose to have a conversation, or if you're aware of this, perhaps he was around that growing up. Okay. It was in the family. It was part of the generation. It was a thing that him and his boys used to do, or something like that. That doesn't work well here. And now this is something that he will heal from when your subconscious beliefs, because a lot of it is being mirrored, a lot of it is being mirrored, is healed around that. Okay. And as you heal, your twin flames healing, the two of you are rising into a higher version of yourself, because it's you come into a greater version. You're not who you were back then. When you do the healing, you're both not who you were. But one of the things that happen is that we can't seem to let go of the past. It's like, is it going to happen again? And when that fear is there, the past just keeps repeating. I truly encourage healing these patterns. Don't do it for this person, do it for you. The fears and that kind of stuff, so you can truly connect with someone and stop these situations that kept showing up in your life from the past. I truly recommend that. Okay. So it gets really hard to forgive that person. We play it out in our minds like, I was hurt by them. So I say this because you were both in the wounded version of yourself back then. Okay. With the healing, you are not that person anymore. You and him are not that person anymore. And the fear, the ego, is going to want to keep recreating things. No, if You've elevated. You're in a different place now. You're not that person anymore. And it's really hard to forgive someone. But when you can look at it from that perspective, I had a lot of fears. I was easily triggered. I was angry. I was very reactive to my triggers back then. I needed them so much. The energy of need pushed them away. Like when you take a step back and look at what was happening back then, and begin to understand why things happened the way that they did. I hope that can help you. I truly know the feeling of I hate him. Okay? I know that feeling. I can't say I ever said that. I hated the situation and that kind of stuff. Oh, if you maybe in the past. The way past. I've done some things. We married each other pretty much, the blocking and all this kind of stuff. So perhaps in the past. Um, but you both knew what you knew at that time. And had you known anything different, it would have been different. And I encourage you to forgive yourself. Most importantly, forgive yourself. Wake up every day. I'm going to forgive myself. Sit with that part of yourself that still feels that pain, the pain of I hate myself in this connection, and work on healing and connecting with this part and forgive yourself. You do not have to forgive him now. Although non forgiveness does create a push energy, I gotta let you know that. I don't believe that you have to force yourself to do anything you're not ready to. So start with forgiving yourself first. All right. I know I said I'm not going to read any more questions. I can't help it. I love my twin and I still ultimately want to end up with him, but lately I just don't enjoy spending time with him. I don't feel very connected to him right now. I get really irritated. Come back within. Go back within, Heather. If whenever these emotions come up, you may be focus on him more than you realize. Come back within. Okay. I don't know why or how to fix it. Come within. All right. Hi, Crystal. And like Ashwini says, like how in your years he never bought me gift, even though he was earning and I was a student. Uh, you're a creator of your reality. You want gifts? Start creating it. Okay. I did give him a gift, but he never bought it for me. Um, yes, a lot of subconscious things that I will leave it like that, some healing and creating, and this can shift what's happening. I used to think if he didn't think of me as feminine enough, reflection. Were you thinking that you're not feminine enough? Lots of it is reflection. True, Asheen. So, Asheen, can I say that just like I was wounded, he was wounded too? Absolutely. There you go. He was mirroring the wounded parts within yourself. I know two different stories, but the wounds are so similar. Okay. All right. I feel like I hate the thought of him bring with when I'm being loyal and devoted like a wife when we were together. Who taught you to be loyal and devoted like a wife? Like I just had to say, like the belief of what a wife is, which is probably not quite who you truly were. Okay. And if this is the case, if society had said a wife is a certain way and it's a disconnect from who you really are, he shows disconnect. All right. Society did us wrong, but him choosing someone else. Like there are days and night I sleep and wake up like burning my body. Oh my goodness. Definitely seek um assistance with this journey. Okay. During Dark Night of Soul, I remember thinking I hate everybody right now, but it did pass. Yeah, I know that feeling. Thank you, Asheen. You welcome, Ashwini. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I appreciate your comments. I'll catch you next time. Bye.